former US President Donald Trump has held a Save America rally in Arizona, promoting his preferred candidates ahead of next month's midterm elections. Mr. Trump criticised Democratic policy, particularly on the economy, crime and the border, saying Republicans are the only way to save the American dream.
If you want to stop the destruction of our country and save the American dream, our good old American dream, and we were talking about it a lot just 2 years ago, then you have to vote Republican up and down the line.
Joining us live now is former White House Chief of Staff and Senior Fellow at the US Study Centre, Mick Mulvaney. Mick Mulvaney, thank you for joining us. What did you make of the Trump rally?
It's a big deal. By the way, Gabrielle, thanks as always for having me. It's a big deal. In our political cycles, in our system, again, voting is not compulsory, as everybody down there knows. So getting out the vote, getting people to actually show up to vote is absolutely critical. The reason you're seeing Trump do this now, he's probably not trying to sway undecided voters. If folks are undecided in any of these races, including where he is in Arizona, it's unlikely he's going to convince them to vote one way or the other. Why he's there and why it's so important that he's there is to get his people to show up to vote. These races are going to be very, very close across the country in many, many states. So another 10,000 people showing up to vote because they saw Donald Trump at a rally actually could make the difference in more than one of these races.
Okay, so it has quite a significant impact on voters in America.
Oh, it absolutely does. No one gets people motivated more than Donald Trump, either motivated to like him or motivated to hate him. Again, back in 2020, nobody voted for Joe Biden. It's 85 million people voted for, or 80 million people voted for Donald Trump, and 85 million people voted against Donald Trump. That's how he is. So the simple fact that he's out there, that he's engaging now, you have to think will drive up turnout, but it could drive out turnout on both sides of the equation. So it's, again, going to be very, very close. Trump is engaging, which is something he was taking some criticism here for not doing up until recently, and his presence cannot be underestimated in any election here.
So midterms in a month, where are they going?
Right now, the pendulum is swinging back. If we had this conversation 8 weeks ago, it would have been solidly Republican. 3 weeks ago was swinging back towards the Democrats. Now it's coming back towards the Republican. This sort of seesaw is not that unusual in our system. Right now, a lot of it is being driven by economics, by prices, by inflation, and specifically by the price of gas. The OPEC announcement last week about the 2 million barrel a day cut has already had an impact here on gas prices. I've seen some data, Gabrielle, says that as much as a quarter, 25 cents of an increase in the price of gas per gallon of gas between now and Election Day could cost the Democrats 5 or 6 House seats and maybe 1 or 2 Senate seats. Things are very, very close. Republicans are pulling their money out of New Hampshire because they've given up there. Democrats are pulling their money out of Wisconsin because they're giving up there. There's probably 3 or 4 races that will decide control of the Senate and thus of the legislature here in 4 weeks.